I've liked a lot of Marvel films and shows that have come out. I've liked Hawkeye, I've liked Thor Ragnarok, the Infinity War and Endgame films, but now I'm having Marvel fatigue. I've been having Marvel fatigue for a few years now, and this isn't just because there are so many Marvel properties out there on film. That's one of the reasons, sure, but I'm having Marvel fatigue because I'm not really a fan of Marvel comics. I've never really loved any of their heroes, and I've mostly read Marvel comics because they're comics and I love comics. But then there's the Punisher. Yeah. I absolutely love the Punisher comics, and I love John Bernthal as the Punisher. John Bernthal is really good at playing the part, the mannerisms, the single mindedness, the absolute carnage he brings with him. It's all spectacular. I don't like some of the story beats they decided to take with John Bernthal, but I'm mostly okay with it. You know what? I'm not mostly okay with it. I'm not okay with it at all. I expressed this frustration in an earlier video, I think, and I'm going to express it again because it's so damn annoying. In the last season of Daredevil, the Punisher is caught by Kingpin's task force. The Punisher couldn't be defeated by a bunch of superheroes, and one of those superheroes was Thor. People dressed up as Punisher, carrying guns, and a terrible attitude can imprison the Punisher? Not in a million years. They wouldn't catch him, they wouldn't put him in prison. But let's assume today is Stupid People Day. And let's assume these task force people did manage to catch him and imprison him. When he escapes, he's not going to wander off onto a new show or a new film. He's going to go out and kill everyone who caught him and end their miserable lives, which includes the Kingpin. I think he was treated terribly by the show. I think they screwed up his character really bad. But in One Last Kill, the slate is wiped clean. The Punisher is out in the open, his past forgotten, doing what he does best, punishing bad guys. At least that's the way things are in my head. The show starts off slow, with stuff at the beginning that I wasn't really interested in. Him seeing ghosts in his little flat, remembering his past, crying. All of this doesn't sound like the Punisher I'm used to seeing. Look, I've read Punisher comics written by Garth Ennis, Jason Aaron, Greg Rucka, and these people don't rely on something as pedestrian as showing ghosts from his past haunting him, or recollections of his daughter's life and her death, or any of that to bring out an emotional connect to the character. Their stories are a little more complex. Frank is usually a stoic character, dispatching bad guys, and if he ever does display emotion, it's handled with a lot more finesse. So, I didn't like Frank's emotional outburst at the beginning of the show. I was sort of interested in his relationship with this little girl at the shop. And while it's a tried and tested formula, it felt real enough for me to be invested in. Also, at the beginning of the show, him walking through the streets where there's violence and mayhem, it's not a realistic look for most cities, but I bought it. It's very cartoony. It feels very much like it belongs in a comic book. And I bought it. I liked that little sequence. It made way for what happened next. And what happened next was freaking brilliant. There's 13 minutes of non-stop action. And for my taste, that's a little too little, but whatever. I'm not complaining. Frank shoots people's limbs off. He shoots their faces off. He shoots so many holes in bad guys. He throws people off huge heights. He caves their heads in. He slashes their neck. He breaks so many bones. He brings so much carnage to the screen. It was the best 13 minutes I spent watching Frank obliterate bad guys. I would have watched Frank Castle kill bad guys for hours. But One Last Kill is just a 45-minute episode, which feels kind of incomplete. That story with Ma Gucci feels incomplete. The whole thing just feels like a trailer of what is still to come. And I think that's what this is. It's a trailer. I really hope, they make something of worth with the Punisher. Just the Punisher. No connections to the rest of the Marvel universe. Like there were no connections to anything else Marvel in this episode. I think that'll be great. Before I end this video though, there's one thing I want to talk about that really annoyed me about the Punisher. You see, when he's remembering his family, he remembers his daughter, not his wife, not his son, his daughter. I remember a previous iteration of this character. He had us living through memories of the Punisher's wife, which is understandable. But now he's having memories of his daughter. Just his daughter, not his son, which is weird. I'm assuming, being a father of two children, he'd remember them both equally, but here he only remembers his daughter. John Bernthal's real life daughter was cast as his on screen daughter here, and clearly that had everything to do with the scenes of him and his daughter. But I think Frank Castle would have some recollection of his son also. Even if his ghost was present somewhere around, that might have made things slightly better. I don't know. It's just something that annoyed me, even though I understood why they made the decision to show only his daughter. Anyway, that's the only complaint I had about the show or the special. I think the special was great. I think it was really great. And I'm waiting for them to actually go and shoot the Punisher TV show or movie or whatever. Just go get it made. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.